Hello, I'm Andrew Horan with Closing and Title Services. First and foremost, I want to congratulate you on the sale of your property. That's a terrific thing, and we're going to look forward to serving you. There are several steps that are going to occur between now and closing, so I thought I'd spend some time and give you some information that'll help you understand the process. The first thing that we're going to ask you for is what's called a prior title, and that would be the title work from when you purchased the property. The commitment or the policy, or in some cases even an abstract, can be used. If you have problems or trouble identifying what that is, please feel free to reach out to us, and we'll be happy to try and help you locate that. It helps us, and it also can save you money. Whether we have a prior or not, one of the first things that we'll do once we receive the order is do a search in the county of which the property is located. Why do we do that? Because we need to determine absolutely and for sure who owns that property and who has an interest. If there are any mortgages or other liens on the property, judgments, unpaid taxes, and make sure that we identify all that information and get it ready to be taken care of at or before the time of closing. So if you have that prior, terrific, it'll help us speed it up. If you don't, no problem. We can do a full 60-year search on the property. Some of the other things that we're going to do are order what are called special assessment letters on the property. Special assessment letters are letters from the local taxing authority, and it tells us what the status of the taxes are. And importantly, it tells us if there are any special assessments against the property or special assessments contemplated to come against the property. So what are special assessments? Those would be things like street reconstruction, sewer and water lateral, sidewalks. Those are all things that are important because those bills will be due on that property and will go on the tax roll. Other things that we'll do, we'll order the deed. When you convey the property to the buyer, an attorney will draft the deed, conveying it from whoever the owner is to whoever the buyer is, and we'll take care of coordinating, ordering the deed and receiving it. We'll also need a payoff authorization from you if you have any open mortgages on the property. What's a payoff authorization? Basically, it's you signing and giving us permission that we can contact your lender, and by furnishing that to your lender, the lender knows you've given us permission to acquire that information. If we don't have a payoff authorization, in today's world, the lenders won't talk to us for privacy issues. So getting that back as soon as possible is very important. Once we've done our search and we've created our commitment and we know what liens are on the property and we know what affects the property, covenants, conditions, easements, and restrictions, we'll issue a commitment and you will get a copy of that for review. It'll also tell you who we find is the owner of the property of record. Hopefully all we find is your name, but in some cases we do pick up information that has to be cleared up before closing. After we've gathered all the information and compiled the closing statements, then we'll actually reach out to you to schedule what's called a seller pre-sign. And that's your opportunity to come in, sit with us, and sign all the documents necessary for closing. Things like the deed, an owner's affidavit. The owner's affidavit is you attesting that you're in undisputed possession of the property, that you don't have any boundary line conflicts with any neighbors, that there aren't any pending litigations against you, and that if you've had any work done on the property in the past 6 months, that it has been paid for in full. These are all important matters for us to know of so we can ensure clear title to the next party. We'll also have you sign the closing statement, which is actually what I like to refer to as the financial blueprint of the transaction. It's identifying everybody that is required to be paid at the time of closing. Things like lenders with open mortgages. If there are judgment creditors, the judgment creditors. It's where we pay for the special assessment letter, the attorney who drafted the deed. Basically, we pay everybody involved in the transaction. So when you receive your proceeds check at the time of closing, that proceeds check is yours and yours to do with what you wish. The biggest part to me is after we've done all of this and you've gotten your accepted offer to purchase and we've accumulated all the information and we do the seller pre-sign with you and then the buyer comes in and finishes their portion of the transaction, you get to celebrate. And us, that means celebrate. It means you can choose a bottle of champagne from our wall of champagne. We've got non-alcoholic if you wish, sweet, semi-sweet, and dry. But selling a property to me is just as exciting as buying a property. You're doing something that is important to you, and we want it to be a memorable and positive experience. During the process, you'll be in contact with our professionals who are very knowledgeable about every aspect of the real estate transaction. If you have questions, you're always welcome to reach out to us, and we'll do our best to answer them completely and timely. Also, if we see anything that causes us to need more information, we're going to reach out to you as well. and try and make sure that it's in terms that make sense to you. And I always encourage anybody, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. There are no bad questions. We may do this every day, but we're perfectly aware that you don't. So we're going to do our best to make it comfortable, understand the procedures, and then celebrate with you at the very end when it's all a done transaction. So again, my name is Andrew Horan with Closing and Title Services, and we really appreciate and look forward to the opportunity to be of service to you. Thank you.